Today we have episode 2 of MyRISE In Review. We're going through the undisputed storyline here, and you can see we have an updated, if you caught last week, we've got an updated MA-Knight in the game. Shout out to Dr. Gorilla Nuts. He put together this creation for me directly. He did a face scan and everything. I gotta say, this is kind of creepy wild stuff to look at this and play through. So, you have an authentic assembled MA-Knight in the game. It was awesome. I had to replay a bunch of stuff so we got to this point in the story. I have been getting questions on community threads and things of people being like, can I download this, post this? It is up there. You'll search under assemble, or you can search Dr. Gorilla Nuts and you will find this creation. He has a standard green attire that Dr. Gorilla Nuts put together, so go and swap that out. I updated it a little bit, but you got your own authentic assemble. It's ridiculous. So last week we finished up at Clash of the Castle, beating Kevin Owens in a TLC match, retaining our championship. And as we fast forward a little bit more now, we're getting into a lot more of just like matches, just building our credibility in this thing week by week. So we got a match against Austin Theory and we retain. Then we end up with a match against Tony D'Angelo, which I did appreciate. They did a chairs match. It makes me want to create this as a custom match type in the game, but not exactly a hard fought match for your boy Assemble. We got a challenge match too, where we're taking on Sheamus, but we're basically just updating our attribute points right now. And then they've gotten us like the different stipulations, like I mentioned, the chairs match. The Sheamus match was a finishers only match, but still not really that difficult for your boy here, the undisputed champion. But then we go through our social media feed, and I'm getting a bunch of tweets and messages here. And then one of them was coming in from WWE themselves, which is, this is like, it's gotta be a conspiracy thing here. It says, your hard work has been an inspiration for the next generation, so we want to dedicate our new ring at the Performance Center to you. You can join us for the ribbon cutting ceremony. You've earned it. I was like, cool. Let's cut some ribbons. Let's have some fun. But then I run into Justine here, and then she's basically just making fun of me, thinking that they would do this for me, which I thought was kind of mean. Like, I don't know. It's got to be the Miz. It's got to be the Miz at this point, just screwing with me, or Roman, which we find out a little bit later more about Roman Reigns. But I feel like I got set up in this thing. But regardless, Justine just suggests we go down there anyways, and we go and we toss it up with some little jobbers and some jabronis here at the Performance Center. This took way longer than I thought to be able to go through and beat this guy, but we got it done anyways. And then I got to deal with Troy Simpkin and this simpleton. So I got mad at Troy because he sent me down to Florida to do nothing basically. And then this bobblehead comes in here. We got JD McDonough. He's making fun of me for going down to Florida and doing this thing. It's like, it's not my fault, JD, that he did this to me. So that results in a match here. So we got to teach JD a lesson. Really didn't take too much because we just beat JD with our patented signature spine buster and it was over. So then I got Troy in my face again and he's talking about sweeps. So he wants to be able to pop big ratings now with the champion. And he's got me and he says he loves the whole TLC match that I had with Kevin Owens. And then he wants to put me in another match. So the whole beatdown of Kane against me, MA-Knight, I thought that this was kind of cool. I do like how the whole cutscene just kind of comes together. It looks good. I actually like how the cutscenes look with like the championship. And you know, WWE 2K, promos. They do a promo in the ring. Why can't I have promo in like universe mode? Just have guy holding the, just take this cutscene and then just don't put any of the dialogue in there. Mute him, mute the character, hold the microphone, belt or no belt, and then just let us put in some text. That's all I want here. And then you could do an ambush or something like that. But anyways, I digress. I thought that the Kane thing was kind of cool. This is setting up a big like monster match that you're gonna have, and you're gonna end up having a casket match against Kane. But then I gotta run into Dominic Mysterio, who apparently has like some kind of relationship with Kane, and he knows all about Kane. But I also got texts from Lita saying because of their history, where she was married to Kane in storyline, which I do like that they're gonna do a little bit of a throwback here, and they're gonna be able to talk about that a little bit. But you don't go back and watch that stuff because it's a little bit wild. So then you got to make your choice for your path here, which is kind of like the first choice that you end up making. And I'm either going to go down the path of listening to Dom or listening to Lita. So for me, I chose to go down the path of working with Lita and get help from Lita with this whole thing. So Lita suggests that I end up going to Mexico and then I fight this giant beast of a man. So this is all in preparation for my match against Kane. And I do like the Mexican arena. I do like this. I think it looks pretty cool. But I wish you would unlock Lita, like street version of Lita in her clothes. Same with Dominic Mysterio. I wish they would just do that as part of the unlockables. I know we get a lot of attire stuff to unlock, But, and I don't remember, maybe they did, and maybe I just missed it. But I wish that we got like Lita's unlockable attire here. So then we get on SmackDown, we get the big match against Kane in a casket match. One of the cool little additional stipulations they throw in here is to do the brass knuckles. So I wail on Kane a ton, and then eventually I'm able to pull off the brass knuckles. For whatever reason, I had a hard time trying to just be able to build things up and do the brass knucks, because I was in the ring trying to do it and never prompted, and then I eventually got to the outside and then I hit it. So eventually we beat Kane and we throw him in the casket here, but then the Tribal Chief makes his return and he interrupts us.
Bravo, congratulations. The Dark Horse manages to win another race. And I didn't even have to win it for you this time. Did you forget? You're only standing there because of me. The locker room hasn't forgotten. The WWE Universe hasn't. And they won't. You can hold my WWE Universal title for a year, 2 years. Why not 3? It doesn't matter. You're just a tenant. I'm the landlord.
So I was kind of waiting to see what the big thing was going to be for this chapter, this week of the show, because for the most part, it's just been a lot of filler. It's just been a lot of like, okay, do the chairs match, the finisher match, and just getting these kind of little random matches done. And then you're having like kind of a side story thing doing that with Kane. So it all kind of felt like, okay, where's this big story beat with Miz or Roman? And then we had this cutscene with Roman, which I think really does deliver. I think they do a good job with like the actual emotion capturing this of Roman Reigns talking and then like I'm holding on to his belt. I do like this whole story narrative they got going on here. It does feel very much like Roman Reigns. It's not kind of crazy absurd. So I like it's a little bit more grounded, that I don't feel like a deserving champion and then I got to go out every single week and start proving myself. So eventually we're going to run into Roman Reigns here and it's going to be a big showdown. So then we're dealing with The Miz again and we're right ahead of SummerSlam and he's just poking my buttons. I will say that for the dialogue and kind of like having The Miz as the GM of SmackDown, it really does work. Like Mike Mazan and The Miz, he did a really good job, I think, of doing the dialogue and just kind of being a little goofy, a little over the top. He gets so mad in this thing. So I actually do find it really entertaining. And then on the bump, they set things up for our SummerSlam match. So I have the match against Drew McIntyre. And this thing is like false count anywhere. And I had a heck of a time trying to beat Drew in this whole thing. It took a lot to take him down. But eventually, we take Drew down outside of the ring. Pedigree 1, 2, 3, and it's over. And then we get our kind of next path and story path here where we either go with The Miz and we stay teamed up with him and we do the things The Miz wants us to do, or we take the belt and then we go to NXT. This is where I feel like there is going to be replay when it comes to the MyRISE story, because I ended up selecting I'm gonna go and play it straight and go down to NXT. But I am curious of like, okay, what if I pick Dom and I got to do that again? And what if I did end up saying, I'm going to side with The Miz and see where it goes? Eventually, it's probably going to just veer back and then end up right where I'm going to be. But I do like the little branches of storyline that they've added in there. So it does give me that replay value of like, okay, I should go back in here and try to redo this. The only thing I wish they had in MyRISE was chapter selection. So because we have all these stories and you have the branching storylines, it would be really cool that if you finished it, that you basically get a new game plus version of it. Because going through another full MyRISE story, that's where I feel players are going to want to just be like, okay, skip, and get to the points where they want to finish off the story and not do all the side quests, side missions that they already completed. So it's when you get the story, the branching story pieces, that's where I feel like if they had like Undisputed Plus and then Legacy Plus or whatever, then you could go in there and just say, okay, do you want to do chapter 1 through 10, pick it, and then you're going to run in faster to those branching stories, so you get the achievements faster, and then you can enjoy taking your character again through the story again. But we walk out of SmackDown and we're headed to NXT. Let's see what's gonna happen next. Thank you so much for watching episode 2 of MyRISE in Review. And if you guys enjoy 2K24 coverage and lots of videos, we got tons of stuff on the channel. Click right here, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button. I'll see you on the next one.